Hello, I'm Eileen Roche, co-founder of Dime, and I'm delighted to welcome you to today's episode of Between Friends. Today, we're going to be talking about having an awful lot of fun in a 4x4 hoop and really getting ready for the holidays, all kinds of stitching. What can you do in a 4x4 hoop? Well, you can add a lot of humor to your holidays, and you can make some mini masterpieces, and you'll fine-tune your embroidery editing skills. But with all of that said, today's episode is brought to you by our exquisite thread. We have kits on sale, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's on sale. So I have too many mice here, so let's see. First off, all of the holiday collections are on sale. So we have the quartets and exquisite. So that's 4 beautiful colors of the exquisite thread. You're going to find a green, a red, a gold, and a silver. And for $9.99, all 4 spools. And then, of course, we have the exquisite quartet, a little pricier, but, it goes a long way, that holiday stitching, when you add a metallic thread to it. And for those of you who really need to flesh out your stash of thread, we have 24 spool kits. One is all exquisite, and the other is 22 spools of exquisite and 2 of our most popular King Star metallic thread colors, the gold and silver. So I know if you're getting ready to stitch for the holidays, you're going to need this variety of holiday colors. So I'm excited to kind of show you a little up close. And now remember, exquisite spools have that snap cap on the bottom that you can store the thread tail in, makes it that easy snap bottom, makes it so easy to care for your thread. And here you can see all the popular colors for the holiday that are in the 24 kit. And then our King Star Quartet, all for the green, the red, the silver, and the gold. And that extra holiday kit that is 22 exquisite colors and 2 of our King Star metallic. So all of these are on special. I hope that you're going to take advantage of it. So what are we going to talk about? Well, we talked about some holiday fun, right? Making mini masterpieces, sharpening your editing skills, and adding a little humor to your holidays. And to me, the best way to add humor to your holidays is through text messages, right? Or stitched messages. So we're going to talk about 4 different techniques. Now, all of these are not going to fit in a 4x4 hoop, but towards the end of the program, we're going to concentrate just on that 4x4 hoop. So let's get started. We're going to talk about pairing fonts, text on path, Storybook feature, and setting a theme. So that first one up is pairing fonts. If you take a moment to critique graphics that you see in either a magazine or on a web page or so forth, you'll notice that it's normally not just one font. They often have a mix of fonts, and we can do that too in embroidery. There's a couple of guidelines that are really easy to follow, but mainly it's picking those 2 fonts. They're going to complement each other and not compete with each other. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video that I prepared for you on how to pair fonts in our software. Bells, just beautiful. Here's a close-up look of the actual quartets themselves. As you'll notice, we have the 4 King Star and the 4 exquisite polyester, which are just beautiful. Now, I promised to tell you about pairing fonts, right? And so let's go ahead and get a look at that. Let me move these out of harm's way. Oh, they look so pretty, don't they? It just makes you want to stitch. And One of my favorite things about holiday stitching is the limited palette. It makes selecting thread color really easy. Okay, so pairing fonts. When you want to work two different fonts into one project, there are just a few guidelines. Number one, you should select fonts that are different from each other. Like this font here, the Mary, is quite fanciful. It has scrolls, it has some geometric elements on top of the columns, on the M, and also on the edge of the E. And then it has those really decorative kind of feminine curls on the Y. So instead of trying to find a second font that was similar to that, that would confuse the eye. So instead, I selected this font, Bright, that has no serifs, right? It's just a simple plain font and really lets Mary be the star. Same over here with Naughty and Nice, both of these Naughty and Nice, right? We have two different themes going on. So let me kind of bring them up here so you can see that a little bit better. On the child's theme, we have a scroll, kind of a curls font that has a lot of serifs. And on this font, which still stays within that child theme, we don't have any serifs. Now, serifs are those little decorative elements that are attached to each letter. This one is exaggerated, right? Because it has those real curly cues on those descenders and even on the question mark. Now, over here on the adult version of Naughty or Nice, it's a little different. Here we have a very popular script font, and then I just chose Arial, just a plain sans serif font that just kind of, tells the story, right? What's Santa going to say? Same message, totally different looks. And that's what you can do when you are pairing fonts. So I love that. It's a fun technique. Let me show you how to do that in software.
In Perfect Embroidery Pro, click on the Text tool, and then click on the workspace. In the Properties box, let's add Naughty or Nice. And then in the catalog, let's take a look. Let's find something. Oh, I like this Angelic Curls. It's kind of a fancy, juvenile type of font. And if I hover the mouse over here, I can see I don't have any punctuation included in this font. That's okay. We'll find another one. Let's click on the text tool again and type on the workspace. And now let's search for another type of curly font. Here we have curly Q. So say OK. And then if we hover over the window, we can see that it does indeed have punctuation. So I'm going to change that A to a question mark and click Apply. And now I can move that question mark with the rest of the font. It looks pretty similar, right? I don't think anybody would guess that that was not a part of the same font. Now let's do the next font. So now I'm going to type, what will Santa say? And we'll click here. Now I'm looking for a non-serif font that has a juvenile flair to it. We don't want it to look too formal, right? We want it to be something that maybe a child would write. And here we have the fun font. We'll click OK. And it's great. I think that's a really good combination. Now it's kind of long, long sentence, longer than the Naughty or Nice. So in the Properties box, we can place our cursor between Will and Santa, remove the space, hit Enter, and now we have it in 2 lines. I like it. That's great. Let's change the color of the second one. It adds just a little bit more contrast and, makes it interesting. This is how easy it is. Now let's look at the color sequence. We can see our blue text with Naughty or Nice with the question mark is going to stitch first, and then, of course, our second. And there you have it. Save the design and send it to your machine.
That's so easy, right? It just takes, a couple keystrokes. Now, Susie DeSoto says that she's never tried fonts in PEP. Well, give it a try, Susie. I'll tell you, it is really a simple task. I just showed you how to do it. It's just a matter of typing in one sentence or a word, what have you, and then once that's on screen, select the text tool again and select a new font, and then you'll have a combination. Well, my next task that I want to cover with you is text on path. And I have invited our stellar Ashley Jones, our complete software wizard, to join me, and she's going to show you this demo. So Ashley, come on in.
Hi, Eileen. Good to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Love having you here. Thanks for joining us today. It's really a treat to have Ashley here on Between Friends with me. Usually you're covering for me, right?
Right. It's also fun, though, to share the screen with, people of same interest. And then, we both get to do part of the presentation. And so I really enjoy that part as well.
That's great. Well, I know you are the software wizard. So let's go ahead and you show us how we get that home for the holidays to just span the top of the fence. It just totally mimics that line, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll make this full screen so that we can see that. But I have the design here on the screen in our Dime software. And this is the original text that Eileen created. And so I just left it on here for a visual. But I'm actually going to copy it, paste it, and then move one out of the way so that we retain our original. And then this one I'm actually going to reset so that we can start from scratch so everybody sees how this works. So this is something that if you have created the text in our software and you've messed around with it, you've changed the envelopes and all these things, you can put it back to its normal setting. And so that's what I just did here. So kind of cool, right? So to make text on path, so we need something that it will follow along. And so I am going to draw a path, and I'll show you two different ways to do this. So my first thought was just, doing my clicked points here and then making my curve over the top of the gate there, and then just finishing off along the line. And so this is just an artwork shape that I just drew. And so when I select this and the text together and do a right mouse click, I can do text on path here, or it's also over in your properties, and I'll show you that as well. Now, over here in my text properties, I've got type as path, which I can change here as well. One thing about this, I think Eileen, she had a little bit more of a kind of a flowing look, because here, where these sharp points are, you can see that my E and my M there kind of overlap, but I can move those around. So there's little double triangles in the center that are for kerning, and I can just kind of scoot those around. But as we noticed here, this is kind of like a more flowing arc, which I actually kind of like for the letters. So I'll show you another way to do this. So I'm going to go back and reset this again. So I have to go back to my text tool to do that. And then I'm going to go back to normal, and then that's my straight text again. And instead of this really straight and rigid line, I'm going to use my pen tool again, and I'm going to push the F on my keyboard, and that will switch to freehand. And so it looks like a pencil. And so then I can just kind of draw, and then, I'm just kind of doing that. It doesn't have to be perfect, because, you won't notice those little bumps when you add your text. So when I select my path and my text again, I can do that right mouse click and say text on path again. So, and that kind of, to me, is a little more subtle. So I kind of like that a little bit better there. And again, if you need to do any spacing in between your letters, you can do that by adjusting those double arrows for kerning. So what do you think, Eileen?
Oh, I love it. I mean, that I liked, I do it totally different. I do it kind of old school with the text on, well, whatever. I don't even
Yeah.
want to show you. So I'm glad you did it. Yeah. But hey, Evelyn Goodman has a question. She says, are the
Yeah.
fonts only available in PEP? So that's a great question.
Yeah. There are fonts in several of our dime software. The Perfect Embroidery Pro has the most font options. Well, actually, that's not true. Word Art and Stitches has more font options than Perfect Embroidery Pro. So Word Art and Stitches has the most. Perfect Embroidery Pro has like the second number of fonts, and then My Quilt Embellisher has quite a few fonts. Patch and Applique Maker have fonts, and so does I think there's like 3 in My Block Piecer. But then a lot of our programs will use True Type fonts and convert them to satin stitches. So look at that. Sarah's question was right up to it, right? So which software have the True Type fonts? And so I would say off the top of my head, the Perfect Embroidery Pro has True Type fonts. The Cut and Stitch software, My Lace Maker has True Type fonts. But now the My Lace Maker True Type font, you use them in a little bit different way, but they are there. But they're really used for creating lace designs. And then Special FX has True Type fonts as well. And I think that is most of them. If I missed any, it's maybe one.
Yeah, but our Embroidery Toolshed Plus, which is a purchase, well, even our free program, Embroidery Toolshed, you can purchase font packs, which is a group of 10 fonts, and they will populate in Embroidery Toolshed, and you'll have all those same editing features, the text editing features that we just showed, available to you. So that's a very inexpensive way to get into working with text and fonts, because those packs are, somebody help me out here.
So I think one of the least expensive ones, Eileen, is like $99. So if you spend $99 with the free Embroidery Toolshed, then you've got all of our text editing features, for $99, which is really good. That's a really good point. I always forget about our font packs.
Yeah, well, it's okay. We're spoiled because we
have it all.
We have it all, right? Which we love. We absolutely love.
We do.
So, okay. These 4 features that we're going to talk about today are my favorite features. So if I say it's one of my favorite features, again, it really is. So the next one is the Storybook feature. That's what I call this. And I think it has another name, and Ashley will verify that. But it allows you to exaggerate the size of the first letter in a paragraph or sentence. When you think about opening a storybook page, that's usually the first thing that you see. So go ahead, Ashley, and show us how you do that in the software, okay?
Okay, will do. I'm going to share my screen again for the software. And I'm going to start a new workspace. And for this one, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. So I have already the text written out so that I could just select that. So we're going to be using this text, the classic Over the River Through the Woods. And so I'm just going to copy this so that you don't have to see me type everything out, and then just start a new page. So always we start with our text tool, and then I have mine set up so that I just click on the screen, and then I can just paste that text into here, which is actually another really good tip, because if you're typing, are you creating a recipe towel or some sort of long text, you can copy it and paste it over there. Or if you're doing names for a gift and somebody sends you the name, so you can certainly look at just copy and paste to make sure you get the spelling correct. And so we have tons of different fonts here. And so just because we were talking about those fonts and the different font packs, I can tell you that the colors mean something a little bit different to us. They're all fonts, but the purple ones actually come from a font pack that's called our luxury font pack. And today we're using several different fonts from this luxury font pack. So that would be a great one to add to your collection if you don't already have it. So, and then I'm going to keep with the sleigh ride here. That is a really great font for what we're talking about. You can align your text left, right, or center. So, left justified, right justified. So I'm going to do left here since we are kind of talking about that storybook font. And so to make this letter larger, like you would see in like a once upon a time beginning of a storybook, if you select on any of the letters with the black diamond that's in the center, it selects just that one letter, and I can click and drag that larger, and then I can even move it to make sure that it is not touching my other font there. So that's a really easy way to do it, and that's exactly what that's designed for, so that you can adjust individual letters, and in this case that beginning letter. However, Eileen had a really cute sample where she changed this letter to something different. So if you want to use a different font, over here in our properties, I'm just going to delete the O, but I'm going to put a space in front of it and then click apply. And then we can put a different font here in the front. So we're going to choose our text tool again, click on the screen so we get a different letter. And we're going to put that for our O, and then click to choose a different font. And there's a really cute font that has a design in the center of it that's perfect for this instance. And I think it's called Christmas. There we go right here. So this Christmas 01, that's in our Perfect Embroidery Pro. And then I'm going to double click to zoom back out, and I'll just resize this a bit smaller. And that can go right in the front. Now I can move this over by using my kerning even to kind of slide this more to the right. And then I can select this, kind of move that into position. And then another way to embellish your text is built-in text design. So we have miniature designs in Perfect Embroidery Pro, Word Art and Stitches. We have charm designs in Patch and Applique Maker, which are miniature designs, but these are perfect for embellishing text because they're small. They're like 2 inches or smaller. And if I scroll down here, there are some cute little holiday designs that we can add to our text. And if I select any one of them, I'm actually going to go up here, and then I'll show you the design. So this is a cute little small design. You can see how it's just kind of miniature, so it would be a great embellishment to your text. And that's under the text designs here in Perfect Embroidery Pro. But also under your Patch and Applique Maker over here to the right, if you own Patch and Applique Maker, we have what we call charm designs. And this one here, I think, is a much better option. This cute little sleigh is perfect for the saying for our text there. So how cute is that? And then, of course, with our software, this could be any color that we wanted it to be for our text. So how cute, right?
Oh, you did a fabulous job on that. I love it. It's just great. And Susie, she agrees. I know. It's fun. Lydia Andrews, she says hello from Sandy Hook, Connecticut, and that she loves the King Star thread. It is the best thread, right? Best metallic thread, the world's best metallic thread for sure.
The king of metallic threads, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so then we have one more feature that I really like, and you just kind of hit on it a little bit, and that is setting a theme. And it's easy to do that with color selection and also adding embellishments like you just showed us, right? You added that little sleigh. And, you know, when you, let's go back, and here I'm just going to go back one slide so we can see. As you look at that opening next to House We Go, right? So it's a pretty big space there. And when you look for an embellishment, you want to kind of keep that shape, that space in mind as to what you're looking at. Like those holly leaves would have been a good choice because you could manipulate them to fill that area. But imagine if it was a Christmas tree, it wouldn't fit so well, right? But that sleigh has just that right curve to just kind of snug into that open space under that apostrophe S. So those are the kind of tips you want to look for. And, you know, it's often about the shape of the opening that you want to fill, right?
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have some really fun, just fanciful embellishments. So where are you going to start? Which one are you going to start with, Ashley?
I think I'm going to start with the ho, ho, ho. And because I love how you've got the 3 different colors, Eileen, and we've got the easiest solution
I know.
for that as well. So I'll start with that. And then I know you have another sample that has, you know, a lot of different colors in the letters, and I can show that one as well while I'm over there.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, sounds good. So let's go back to the software. And for this one, I'm going to start with text tool again, always where we start. And you notice here it remembers the last font that I worked with. And then, of course, we can change it. So I'm going to type ho, ho, ho. And whoop, look at that. I messed up. So comma and my ho, ho, ho. Okay. And then I'm going to click to choose my different text here. And for this one, I'm going to scroll down and choose this cute little font here. It's looks like Mandevilla. I think that's what that's called. But that's just like such a cute little font for the holidays, I think. The kerning options here, this is a great use because not only can you change the distance between letters, but you can also change it between words as well. And what I love that Eileen did here that is really fun and festive. So we've got one line of text, but if we head over to our commands options and our properties, you do have this color change option here, and it's set to none. And you can change colors between characters, words, or lines. So I'm going to choose words for this one and click apply, and you'll see that it automatically changes those colors, creating my color stop for me so that I can change my thread colors and have that really cute festive colors. And then, of course, you can always change to a different color if you like. And what we did here was use those text designs again. So those little miniature designs, text designs or charm designs, whichever you have in your software that might be little designs. But down in that same area where we've kind of got some holiday and winter designs, this cute little snowflake is the perfect fit right there. And you can change the color. And then we're just going to copy and paste it. And I'm just going to do a different color for each one. Now, certainly you could make it the same color if you wanted, but I was just making it some alternating colors there. But how adorable is that? So I love that. And the software does all of the work for you. Your machine's going to stop after it stitches the green to allow you to put in the different thread for the red and the yellow. So really simple.
Why don't you show them how to color sort that so that it would just flow so quickly? Or is it already color sorted?
Yeah, so the it is not color sorted with the red and the green and the letters. So to color sort any design, so you've got these options here, your color sort, and also under the edit options, there's resequence by color. In this case here, if I want to sort the green and my green, I do need to break up my text. So I do break up text, and then it separates out my different letters. And then when I select everything, choose my color sort there, now I only have 3 color changes. So it's going to do all of my green together, all of my red together, and all of my yellow together, or gold. So
Such a time saver.
it definitely is. I couldn't live without my software. And it definitely, Eileen, I think it is my most useful tool in my entire embroidery room for sure.
I would have to agree with you. And you know what I love about the holidays is you have a limited thread palette. And so it saves time on selecting color, right? I mean, that's what's so nice about these holiday kits, because you're going to be able to just, work from that palette and know that everything you stitch for the next month or two is going to just be gorgeous and coordinate with each other.
Yeah. And sometimes choosing the thread colors and the fabric and the design, sometimes that entire process takes much longer. And so if you know what colors you're working with, that'll go quick. So, okay, so I'll show them now how to change the colors between each character, and then it'll be back to you. Okay, so for this one, this cute little design, we're going to do elves at work. And
Oh.
anytime we put text on a different line, it does the same thing on screen. And that's still a great font for this. But Eileen, I'm going to use the font that you used because I absolutely love the little dots there. So there's two different font options that have the little dots on the end. And Tinker Toy is one of them that's in that luxury font collection that you can purchase to add on to any of your programs. So I just think that's super cute. And
Mhm.
for this, we are going to do a right align or justified. So then we can put a little design here. Let's go into those patch and applique maker charms again. Eileen, I think you used that little clock, which was perfect because, well, they're on the clock, right? Isn't that what you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so we can resize in our software. It does recalculate the stitches. And then of course, you know, you can make color changes so that you get the color palette that you want. And so for this text here, if we want it to be more colorful, just like earlier, we can do between words. We saw that. You can also do between lines. So color change between lines means that just like you see, it's going to stop and allow you to put in another color for the next line. But I really love between characters because it adds
Oh.
the cutest little design. Now, it actually gives you a different color for every single letter. So your machine will stop so you can put in a different color. Now, for this example, I know, Eileen, you've got this to show them, and you really
Mhm.
used four colors here. You didn't have all of these different colors. So I would recommend breaking up the text again, or you could go and change these color palettes down below. So like the blue here is pulling from this number 1. So if I click on that number 1, I could switch that to green if I wanted. Well, actually, we already had green there, so maybe we switch this one to a little bit different color, maybe a silver. And so now we've got the red, green, silver, and then the gold that we're using here. So you could go and you could change each of those chips. But if you know that you're done editing your design, when you break up text, you can't go back and edit your font, your saying anymore, but it does make it easier to apply the color. So then I could select, say, every fourth color here, make it green, and then I could do every so often here to do red. And I'm just being, I'm not really following any special order here. And then make these gold to make your
Yeah,
really fun, cute
that's
text.
adorable. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I did. I
awesome.
stitched it out. So here, let's go to the overhead cam and you can see that, what it looked like. Um, Maybe make that full screen.
Here we go.
And, you know, I just did it's like a little sign that I'll, gift to my grandkids, but you add a little rickrack and some buttons on the corner. And boy, it just really kind of jazzes that up. It took no time to stitch because all of the work was done in the software, right? And I was able to color sort everything so that the clock elements like that, the silver stitched at the same time as all the silver letters and the green dots and the red arrow, all of that. So super fun and really easy to do. Yeah. Now we did have some questions, Ashley. So Dalu Glazer wants to know what software is this? So what are we working in here? Is this Word Art and Stitches? Is this Perfect
Yeah.
Embroidery Pro?
So I have all of mine working
Yeah.
together, but I knew we would get the question about the color change. So I did look to make sure which ones had that option. And so to be able to do the color changes between your fonts, between your letters, lines, or the words, you can do that in Perfect Embroidery Pro, Word Art and Stitches, My Quilt Embellisher, My Block Piecer, Vintage Embroidery, and Special FX. So if you have any of those software, you'll be able to add the text on the screen and then do the same editing things that we were
Yeah.
doing today. So just to
Great.
repeat, Eileen, PEP, Word Art and Stitches, My Quilt Embellisher, My Block Piecer, Vintage Embroidery, and Special FX. Hard to keep up with all those.
Yeah, it is. So L. Lynch wants to know which software is most essential.
So I would say the Embroidery Tool Shed Plus is a great place to start. As far as which one's most essential, I do think that that is really, it's kind of subjective, right? It's really more of what you need for your essential pieces of software. But if you're new to embroidery and you don't have any software, the Embroidery Toolshed Plus a great place to start because it has built-in text, and you can also edit designs by ungrouping, deleting parts and pieces of the design. So that's a great place to start. If you want to digitize, you definitely need Perfect Embroidery Pro. If you're all about the fonts, I would say Word Art and Stitches. So we could go on and on, right, Eileen?
Right. Oh, we could, because it's so fun.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Okay, so let's take a look at that SC, Santa Claus's monogram, right? So let's go to that overhead. Look how elegant that is. Isn't that just lovely? So I know, unless you know Samuel Christopher, or, that's probably not your monogram. But what if you were a guest in someone's home for Christmas and, Christmas dinner? Wouldn't it be lovely to bring napkins with their monogram, not the SC, but the family's monogram, and stitch it in the holiday colors, and then also add a little decorative element like this Christmas ball to a portion of the letter. And it'll be a lovely reminder of you every year that they set their table with, these elegant napkins. And it's easy for you to make. What an easy, fun gift. So do you want to show us how to do that, Ashley?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll add my software back. And so that is a really easy design to make. So built-in text again. That particular font, which is beautiful, I think it's called Deco something. So we're in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
So I need to go up here. And so I'm looking for Deco something, if I remember correctly. So where did that go?
Let me see. Let me see if I can find it for you.
Okay, because I was going to say I knew that I had tried that and played with it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in the monogram font. So because we do have some fonts that are listed under monogram options, and so maybe it's one of those.
Just bear with me. Oh boy. Here we go. So this
I
font,
just found it.
it's the Deco block monogram. You're right.
Yeah, there we go. I just was not in the correct area yet. So typing in your SC. So by monogram font, this means that if you do have 3 letters, it's going to put them in a traditional monogram format where the center letter is larger, but we're just using 2. And so in that case, the monogram tool is going to put it same size for the font there. So there's our text. And for this one, it's already a 2-color font. So I'm going to push the minus to get rid of any extra color chips here. And now this one, I can just easily click on the color chip, change that color if you want, whatever color you want it to be. And for that design, from Patch and Applique Maker, those charm designs, which are those miniature designs, we've got these cute little Christmas bulbs, and this one has the little tie hanging already, so you can just put that right into position.
So cute.
Isn't that adorable?
Really
and then
is.
Eileen, did you use Kingstar Metallic for the red?
I did. I most certainly did. I used Kingstar Metallic for the Christmas ball and the letters. I used the red. I used red for the body and then gold for the accent.
Oh,
And we have
that.
the Kingstar Metallic palette in the software. So you can audition your design and actually look at it in metallic threads, which I think is very cool.
It is, and it even has a shine to it, because look at the shine that you get there. So I love being able to see that in the metallic thread. So
and that really wide satin, in the body of the S and the body of the C, it's actually, if you were to zoom in, it's actually like a split satin. So that means, you're going to have the needle's going to penetrate out by the gold border, and then also in the center, and then again to the opposite border. But the accent, that gold skinny line of satin in the middle, just makes that look so beautiful.
Yeah,
And
love that.
let's there we go. So now you can see what I mean. So it's just, beautifully digitized, and you can depend on it every time you type something in that font, it's going to stitch out beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely. Love
Yeah.
that.
So much fun. Okay, so I think we did have well, Trisha Lane said, so much stuff for a beginner to learn, but it's fun. There is a lot, right? Embroidery is a huge world, but the fun thing about software is you can't break it, and you get to experiment just beyond your imagination, really, right, Ashley? I mean, you just get to play and play, and you don't have to even invest your time and your resources in the actual stitching. You can learn a lot just by playing in software, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you're not using thread at that point. You're not using stabilizer. You're not stitching on a blank. So you're really, your initial investment, you can play with it, use it, and it's not any additional cost for you to create all of those designs.
Right. And that replay feature, which you showed a couple times, that is really your friend, because that also teaches you what may be beautiful, like the finished image, but as you watch the replay, you're going to be able to find, let's say, some mistakes. Actually something is stitching behind something that is meant to be on top, and so forth. And that's where you find that in the color sequence. So
for sure,
so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Janet Connolly wanted to know, what font is that and what software? So the font that we just showed, the SC, is called Deco Block Monogram, and that is in where, Ashley?
I think that because it's colored red, I think it's in Word Art and Stitches. And so I can verify that really quickly while we double check. And so, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful font, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it's in Word Art and Stitches.
And that child's one, let me see. Not that one. The elves at work. Do you still have that on screen?
I do. Yep. Okay. The Tinker, that was Tinker Toy. That was from the luxury font collection that you can purchase separately, and all of those fonts install inside of any of your Dime software.
Right. And the name of the Ho-Ho font?
That one was from Word Art and Stitches, and it was Mandevilla.
Yeah. Yep. But, get into your, if you own this software, open it up and play. I mean, really, just get into that library of fonts, click on the text tool, click in the workspace, and then that, you'll see the font on the right-hand side in the properties box. And then if you click on that, you can just play and really experiment. You'll see some beautiful things. Okay. So well, first off, I have to thank Ashley for sharing all of her knowledge today.
You're welcome.
But, you really are a wizard, and you are able to present it in such a fluid and comfortable and easy to learn manner. So we appreciate that. But a couple weeks ago, Ashley was here in Dallas, which is pretty rare, right? And she had a fantastic idea. And that idea was for the month of November, for our On the House designs, to give away something that would enable everybody to kind of stitch along for the month. And at the end, we would all be finished with a really fun little project. So hang in with us. We're going to reveal what that is at the end of the program. But first, we have to show you what this month's On the House project is. And those of you who are OML embroidery fans, remember on this Saturday, Sue Brown will be hosting a Dime sew-along on the OML channel, and she'll be making the project that I'm about to reveal. And then at the end of the November, she will also do a sew-along with November's project. Okay, so right now, where are we at, Ashley? Well, most certainly we got to take a look at the holiday special, right? Because today's program is brought to you by the holiday thread kits, both Exquisite and Kingstar. So we hope that you take advantage of those special prices. Okay, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. It tells us that you like what we're doing and that we are creating the right content for you. So keep us keep us in your thoughts when you do that. It helps us move forward. Okay, Ashley is going to be back on November 5th. Next week, I cannot believe it's November already, and she'll be doing Software Success. Ashley, what are you going to do there?
I will be talking about how to create a sketch embroidery design. It's a very popular trend that's been around for a little bit, and it's a lower stitch count design. And so it just gives a really fun look. So we're going to see several different ways to create it in several different of our Dime software.
Oh, awesome. That's great. And if you have not caught Ashley's Software Success, I really encourage you to do so, because if you like to dabble in software or you're just beginning, she would be your go-to woman, because she is spectacular. Many people go back and rewatch them because it really helps them learn their software.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
so then on November 7th, next Thursday, I'll be back at 1 o'clock, and we're going to be doing some fine-tune editing, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So these are on-the-house designs that we've been talking about, that we've been providing to you for the whole year. They're still free on our website. You just go to dzgns.com, click on embroidery designs and free designs, and that will bring you to the download page. Download them now, because at the end of 2024, we will remove them. So make sure you get them. They're there all year. We also love to know what you're stitching, and many of you have been posting beautiful projects and using the hashtag of Dime Sew Along, or hashtag on the house, or hashtag exquisite thread. And when you do that, we search for it, and then we put you in this reel. So let's take a look at what you've been stitching. Oh, wow, they're fabulous. You've done so many beautiful things. I just love it. Well, this project, this month's project, is Home for the Holidays, and it's a mug rug. It's very easy to do, and we've already done that text on path for you that Ashley showed you earlier. So let's take a look at what the steps are. You're going to hoop cotton fabric and tearaway stabilizer, and you're going to stitch that whole design, right? Just all the pieces. And there's some beautiful colors, and it most certainly works from our exquisite holiday kit thread palette. So if you purchase that, then you're ready to go. And then you're going to take 2 pieces of the same cotton fabric, if you desire the same fabric for the back. And the dimensions are in the instructions, but I believe they are 6 inches wide by 12 inches long. And you're going to fold them in half, so you have a 6 by 6 inch square. And then you're going to place those. You're going to place there. I'm going to make this full screen so you can get a better look. You're going to place that fabric with the fold in the center of the hoop, so that once you stitch the next color, which is a complete outline of the design, that will sew it all together. And it is a 2-ply, so don't be surprised. It's also going to leave an opening for you. No, it's actually not. Yeah, is it? No, it doesn't leave an opening for you, because you're going to be able to open it through that kind of pillow back, that envelope back opening. So, so cute, easy to do. I think you're going to love it for sure. So what do we have coming in November? Well, Ashley, come on in, Ashley, because I just love your idea. It was just adorable. So it looks really plain, right? But it's going to be an ugly sweater embellishment month. We're going to do all kinds of different embellishments on it. And each month you're going to get a different embellishment. So let's go to the overhead so you could take a look at some of the finished sweaters that I have created. And they are right here. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun. So they all start with just that sweater. okay? And I hoop it in a 4x4 hoop. And I have a big piece of felt here, and I'm folding this up so you can see how big it is. But I hoop just the corner so that I leave room for more sweaters, right? And when I stitch this portion, I don't use any stabilizer at all. I did use black bobbin thread, but you don't have to. But no stabilizer for this portion. And then the next thing you're going to do is add some of these adorable embellishments. So like you could add Christmas lights and you would just stitch them right in the center. Or you could add a kind of a chevron pattern that has been sized to fit shoulder to shoulder, and then also in the chest area, and even a little one for the sleeves that, of course, you would repeat on each side. So we're going to learn how that you can edit this in software or at the machine. It's so much fun. Throughout the month, you're going to get a stag head, some tiny little mittens. You will get some additional applique so that you can do some colors. So here, let me get these out of the way so you can see. Like over here, I did a combo of cotton fabric, and I also added the mittens. So that's the little embellishment for that. Oh my goodness. And of course, we get a Santa suit. Can't go wrong with the Santa suit, right? So the fur on both the collar and the hemline and the sleeves, and then the buttons and the belt all come in together. And, little Christmas trees on the bottom of this one. And I know many of you are just going to have a blast with this and go above and beyond. And you can also, if you're like me, because you're an embroiderer, maybe you collect small scale prints. I'm always looking for tiny little prints. And, like this. So if I find a fat quarter of micro polka dots or, bias type of stripes, or even the traditional ones, any of them, little florals, little ginghams, these are going to be perfect for embellishing. And I recently came across these tiny little buttons. Oh my, just super fun. So keep your eye out for trims and, just little things. And you probably maybe already even have these in your sewing room. It's going to be a blast, right, Ashley?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm excited about it. One of my favorite things, Eileen, about the doors and the small town charms each week, whenever you would release those, or each month. And I loved how people use their software to add their own touches and really customize it and make it their own. And that was my idea with the sweater, the ugly sweater. They could make it as ugly or as cute as they want using their software. Or if you don't use software, you can always use your embroidery machine to merge designs together. But it's just a fun way to use our embroidery, right?
Absolutely. Now, Alice says these need a paper doll to dress.
Ooh.
Great suggestion. And then our friend Sue says you could make them into ornaments by backing with felt. And absolutely. And November, so each week, first week you're going to get the sweater and I think one set of embellishments. And then each week we'll get a couple more. And then the last week will be a project that you would put all the sweaters into. But my goodness, don't just go by our creation. You folks have unlimited creation. So we can't wait to see what you do with it. So we hope that as you stitch, and this all starts next week. So as you stitch, that you'll share, right? On social media. Blah.
Love that. Love it.
Yeah. Sandra Martinez said that she loved the doors. Many people watching may not know the doors, but in 20 and 21 and 22, we had on the house designs. They were free designs every month. They were just every month, and it was a project. And people brought their own creativity to it to embellish doors and little buildings, and they were really quite fun. I enjoyed them myself. So anyway, okay, what fun we had today, Ashley.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. As you know, I always love doing everything in software, and definitely can't wait to see what everybody creates with their little ugly sweater project starting next month too.
Right.
So thank you, Eileen.
You're so welcome. And maybe the best part is you don't have to wear it.
That's true. It can be extremely ugly and you don't have to put it on. I love that.
Right. You know, you get invited to a special Christmas party, and then at the bottom it says, wear your ugly sweater. You're like, well, I didn't really want to wear an ugly sweater. Right. But anyway, well, we hope you all have a great week, and we're going to be back next week, both of us, right? Oh, so
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.